Is it still possible to sell your home fast with multiple offers and even above asking price? With the simple 4Ps formula I'm going to share with you today, it is possible. I'm going to show you the right way to do that, and of course, I'll explain the wrong way too. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Brian Simmons here with eXp Realty in Southern Oregon. It is September 28th. So happy to see you again on a Wednesday. If you could do me a quick favor, I'd really appreciate it. Just click that like button, hit the subscribe icon, and share this video with anybody you know who is looking to buy or sell real estate in the Southern Oregon area. If you're curious what your home's worth or you're looking to do some house hunting, check out my website, buyingsouthernoregon.com, or look in the description of this video, and there's a lot of great links. Now, let's run through the data, and I'm going to show you what's going on with the market right now. As of this morning, 1,219 active single-family residential listings are on the market between Jackson and Josephine counties in Southern Oregon, and that's been stable the last 4 weeks. We've been hovering right around that same number. 93 new listings did hit the market in the last week, which is down below our 6-week average, and actually about 30% less than where we were at last year. So the new listings is definitely a little bit low right now. 159 price changes happened, 31 back on the market, 90 went pending, which is also a little bit low, 88 closed, which is surprisingly very close to where we were this time last year, within a couple units. 32 were expired, withdrawn, or canceled, and all of that brings us to 13.8 weeks worth of inventory if we were to look at just a snapshot of the 1 week. So the week's worth of inventory has been hovering right around 13 weeks, like I mentioned, for the last 4 weeks. Okay, and that's a little over 3 months worth of inventory, which is still very much a seller's market on paper. What's notable, though, is that that week's worth of inventory has not been going higher as a result of mortgage rates going higher, which I think a lot of people would expect to see happen. I do suspect as we get more into the fall and winter that the number of transactions will slow down. Obviously, it's like a cyclical industry. But I think when that happens, we'll start to see that week's worth of inventory number pop up, which it could or couldn't do. I mean, it most likely will, but it could not do that if for whatever reason we had a super slowdown on the new listing side of things, for example. So there's two sides to that equation, but my guess is that it'll probably end up popping up a bit, and we'll see what happens. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch in the coming months as we go into that and see what happens with inventory and what happens with weeks worth of inventory. One thing I did expect to see that I did not is the back on market number. I thought that would be much higher than it was, and I thought that because mortgage rates have gone up above 7%. And once they did that, I thought that we were going to see a lot of deals fall through. And maybe those negotiations are happening right now. Maybe we'll see that more next week, but I am surprised that the back on market number was not higher due to more deals falling out or falling through due to rates increasing, because essentially what that means is that buyers aren't going to be able to afford a higher rate. So if they didn't lock their rate, there's a chance that when rates went up a little bit or quite a bit, that they all of a sudden can't afford that new payment and they bail on the deal. So I'm just a little bit surprised that didn't turn out to be more the case, but we'll keep an eye on that and see where things go. Now, let's talk about how you can sell your home fast with multiple offers and maybe even above asking price. First off, yes, it still can happen, of course. And there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. Okay. And the wrong way is obvious, right? It's simply just to price it so low that, it's so much below market value that it was just a no-brainer. It's a crazy deal. Somebody has to jump on it, right? That's like if the comps are saying it's probably worth $500,000 and it's listed at $399, that's going to be, something crazy that's going to spark a bidding war and get a bid up. And honestly, in that case, probably still below market value, but that would get you sold fast and bid up. So that's the wrong way. So now let's talk about the right way, though. And to qualify this strategy, this is something I've done with 3 of my most recent listings, all sold in a week or less. Some with multiple offers, some above asking price. I can't get into all the details because they're all still pending. But it is working, and this is a formula that has proven to be successful. Okay, so here it is. Step 1: call me, and I'll list it for you, and you don't have to worry about anything. That's the obvious answer. But I'll actually give you more details than that. Number 1, on what I'm calling the 4 Ps to perfect the strategy, It is presentation. Okay. That is the first and foremost presentation. Make sure that your home looks like it belongs in a magazine. Okay. Make the inside perfect, make the outside perfect. Get a good professional photographer. Like I'll give a shout out to the one I use, Apex Video Tours. They're phenomenal, and they will capture the shots of your home that make it really, really show off and stand out. Okay, so absolutely needs to be, presentation needs to be spot on. I would also go as far as saying make it turnkey so that all those little things that that are hanging on out there, like if you need to touch up paint here or there, or maybe the whole house needs to be repainted, whatever the case is, do those things. If you need to replace the living room, fan in the ceiling, like replace it. Okay, those are the things that you don't want a buyer touring and thinking about how they need to replace that fan, they need to paint that trim, they need to do all those things. You want to make it turnkey so that they think all they need to do is unpack their boxes and they're all set. Okay, that's number one, is the presentation. Make it look absolutely perfect. Number two is price. Okay, buyers want a deal right now. That's just the way that it goes, right? They always want a deal, of course, but the reality was that wasn't happening in a while ago when there was just so much crazy competition. Now buyers are feeling like they can stick it out and they can get a good deal. Okay, so what I suggest to my clients is that we price just below what the sold comps are telling us. Okay, and it's not just sold comps; it's the most relevant ones, right? And there's a lot more to that. So I can't really get into all of the specifics because it's more of an art than a science on this when it comes to pricing. But it is absolutely critical to price it right and to make it something that buyers want to go see. Okay. So there's a lot of strategy involved in that. That's something I can really talk through with you and help you with. But price and pricing it, aggressively is really, really critical to making the strategy work for you. Number three is promotion, and you need to create a gigantic amount of buzz about your listing before it ever even hits the market. Okay, that is absolutely critical. Make a lot of buzz before it hits the market and sustain that while it is on the market. Okay, and that's hard to do on your own. It's not something most agents do very well. Okay, it is something I do very well, and I can back that by showing you posts that have been seen by tens of thousands of people in just a few days. Okay, that's the amount of exposure that I'm getting on my listings, and that's the amount that's necessary to generate the buzz that you're going to need to get buyers, coming towards your listing. Okay, and that's what you want. You want to create a lot of buzz through a good promotion strategy, and that's what you need to find a good agent who can do that for you. Number four is procurable, and this one, it cannot be understated. This is super important, and what I mean by procurable is you as the seller need to make your home available. Okay, you need to make it available to be seen by a buyer who wants to buy it. All right, so that means when somebody says that they want to see it and it's a Sunday and you say, no, I don't want to show it because I'm watching football all day, you can't do that. I mean, yes, you can, but that's not going to help you with the strategy. Okay, make it available, make it accessible. Go away for the weekend, right? Like the week, if you hit the market before the weekend, go away for the weekend and just try to stack that thing full of showings while you're out of town. Okay, that's my suggestion. Make it procurable, have a good promotion strategy, get your price right, and make it presentable. You do those four things, and I really think you've got your best chance at getting it sold fast, maybe even getting multiple offers, and maybe even getting offers above your asking price, like I've been able to do for some of my clients lately. Whatever you do, though, do not be the seller who says, you know what, I'm going to list my home as is because I know what it's worth, and you come up with some crazy price, because the reality is you don't. And if you try that strategy, you're going to prove that to yourself. Okay, so just don't be that person. Don't do the let's put it up here at this price and see what happens. That ship has sailed. Okay, that's not happening anymore. That's a surefire formula for ensuring that your home sits on the market and gets little to no activity. Okay, so do not do that. Happy to talk through that with you as well, but I'm just telling you, that is not a good strategy right now. That may have worked a couple, 6 months ago, maybe last year or two. when there was very, very little inventory, when rates were really, really low, and there was just a pool of buyers looking to buy anything and everything. That is not the case anymore. That ship has sailed. I hope that information was helpful to you guys. If you're thinking about selling, you want me to help you with this strategy, get in contact with me. My phone number is 541-954-7758. That's my direct number. Call or text me. I'd be more than happy to help you. You can also shoot me a message on Facebook, send me an email, brian.simmons@exprealty.com. Whatever you'd like to do, get in contact with me. I'll be happy to help you. If you're looking to do some house hunting or you want to know what your home's worth, check out the description of this video or my website, buyingsouthernoregon.com, and there's some great resources on both of those. And as always, if you could please hit that like button, click on the subscribe icon, and please share this video with anybody you know who is looking to buy or sell real estate in Southern Oregon. I would greatly appreciate that. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.